Hi guys, welcome back to Saturday Morning Cartooning. Before we get to today's cartoon, let's take a look at some of your art. Today we're going to be doing a very special character suggested by a very special person. My niece Olivia would like to do My Little Pony, and we're going to be drawing her favorite pony, Princess Luna. My Little Pony began as part of the Hasbro toy line in 1981. However, the first version of this toy was called My Pretty Pony. The original sculpt of the toy was done by illustrator and designer Bonnie Zackerly. Inspired by her childhood dream to own a horse, Zackerly developed the doll as a 10-inch stylized pony with a brushable mane. The toys eventually developed into the super popular My Little Pony line that featured several ponies in an array of rainbow colors, each with a specific name and design that matched their personalities. The toys spawned several animated shows that aired on Saturday mornings for years. In 2010, My Little Pony was brought into the 21st century by animator Lauren Faust and artist Paul Rudish with the debut of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. This show featured even more ponies like Pinkie Pie, Applejack, Twilight Sparkle, and Fluttershy. These ponies were drawn with an eye towards a more modern, sleeker look and simple character designs. The use of minimal and sleek line work will make the characters easier to draw when we start cartooning. This show has been going strong for 9 seasons, with several direct-to-video feature-length movies in between. Since the toy's debut in 1981, My Little Pony has become a cultural phenomenon.
Alright, let's get started with My Little Pony. Make sure you have, of course, paper. Make sure you have a good pencil. Make sure you have a good eraser, and then of course your inking markers for later on. Remember, these are permanent markers, and be careful with these with furniture and clothing. Alright, let's take a look at our reference photo. And today, there are many My Little Ponies to choose from. But we're choosing, or I chose this one because this is my niece Olivia's favorite. This is Princess Luna. And she is not just a pony, she's a unicorn pony. So we're going to have to add that unicorn horn on there. But let's take a look at the basic foundational shapes. They got sort of like an almond shaped, maybe like a lemon shaped head over here. The neck goes down into the body that is thicker on one side than it is on the other. Of course, this particular pony has wings, so we're going to have to draw on some Pegasus wings. The legs, when we take a look at the legs, remember how we said usually, realistically, things taper. As they taper, they get smaller as they go down. With these ponies, everything gets thicker on the way down. So it's thinner up here on the body, and then as it goes down, the leg gets thicker to the hoof over here. So it's pretty easy, basic shapes that we're all going to add on to later on. So let's start with sketching out these shapes. Alright, let's sketch. Remember, light touch with your pencil at first. I'm going to sketch on sort of like a lemon-shaped head. Right, so it's thicker on one side. Actually, now that I draw it, it kind of looks more like a light bulb. So it's bulbous on one side, and then on the other side, it's sort of like closed off on this side. So we got sort of like a sideways light bulb, or even a hot air balloon. Sometimes it's easier just to, again, sketch out these shapes first, and then add to it. Let's do. This is the neck. Most of the neck is going to be cut off by her hair, her mane, so don't worry about the neck so much. Let's do the shape of the body, which we said is, again, thicker on this side, and it goes down until, like, you can even mark these off with circles. You could do a big circle here and a smaller circle here, and then just sketch them together. Ultimately making sort of like a sideways pear shape. Alright, and we're just gonna sketch in the legs right now by putting in lines, but we're going to be thickening those lines later on. But right now, let's just put lines. We're gonna have one here, and then one here, So these are the front two legs. And the thing about animals is, especially when they're trying to draw them somewhat realistically, if we take a look at the reference photo, their legs bend backwards, not like a regular human knee, where a human knee would bend forward. Their rear legs bend backwards, so we're going to have a line going out this way and then down. That's going to be the same on that one too. So let's sketch those in. All you have to do is just lines for right now. We'll go back in and do those later on. Let's do her wings. So right from the back here, it's going to sprout out this way. And then don't worry about the individual shapes of the wings yet. Just get that basic shape in, and then we'll go back in. So that's one wing. And the other wing, which is on the other side of the body, we're not going to see most of it. In fact, a lot of it's going to be hidden behind the hair, so don't worry about it too much. But it's going to be right around here and then behind that one. Alright? Let's start working on the face and the mane. We're only going to see one eye, and it's a big almond shape. So this eye is going to be right here. And then she's got sort of like half-mast eyelids. That means you see a little bit of her eyelid, and that really accentuates her eyelashes. So we're going to have some eyelashes going off. There's also going to be a few on this side. We'll just put little sketches in there right now. We'll go back in. Okay. Her pupils are huge, so we're going to have... There's going to see very little whites of her eyes. It's basically all pupil. And then the black part. And then there's two gleams. So we're going to put one circle there and a smaller circle here. And then the circle that we drew inside, I'm going to just sketch that in, or shade it in rather, so that we know that we're going to ink that in later on. Alright? Let's do her hair. Actually, before we do her hair, let's do one of these ears, because her ears are where the part is going to be for her hair. So let's put in this one ear right here. Put a little line right there so that it shows that there's the inside of the ear. And then her mane is going to come down this way. Let's sketch in the mane. And it's kind of in two parts. So we're going to do one flow of the mane here. And then that's the other one going down this way, creating a little bit of a curly Q right here. Okay, notice how this wing is going to be cut off by the hair. So here's her mane that's going back, and now we're going to do the mane that's going forward. Most of it is going to be off the hair, or off the head. This part is going to just come in this way, creating a little bit of a part on her forehead, and that's going to curly Q in like that, and then back out. I might want to make that a little bit shorter. Let's do that again. So this part goes down, then a quick back up, and then we're going to curly Q in. Like that. There we go, much better. And then we can put in her smile, which is really interesting. Her smile sort of like makes like a real, you know, like smiley face smile, but on the side of that pony head, with a little indication of a nostril right there. Alright, before we do the rest of the mane, let's put in her unicorn horn, which is going to go out this way. come back down, and then she's got a little bit of a crown. So it's 1, 2, 3. Sort of like a little mountain right there. That's her crown. We'll go back in later and do the rest. Now that the horn and the crown is there, we're going to draw this part of the hair that's going to go around and then down like this. So from the ear to the crown, draw a little line there, and then just in your mind's eye, just pretend that line goes right behind those two pieces and then comes out this way, and then you can draw in the rest of that hair. Going around the head, framing the face, and then back in this way. There we go. All right. Let's work a little bit more on those wings. We drew the basic shape out. We're going to now draw individual feathers, or at least a stylized representation of feathers. Let's give that a little bit more of a curve by doing this. A line going in, sort of like making a big wide S. Let's clean up that line a little bit. Alright, so that's one. So let's say it's like a finger of a feather, and then we're going to have another, and another, and another, and then a couple more, getting smaller as we go down to her hair. Alright, so it's just little stylized feathers. Alright, and we just kept that within the shape that we drew. And now we're going to add on a little bit more lines inside, just again to accentuate that these are supposed to be feathers. It's not realistic. That's what the word stylized means. It's in a style of an artist. It's not realistic. Alright, that's our one wing. And then we have the other wing over here that we don't really see too much of. A line will go up and then over, and we're going to see the top of this feather, and then maybe one more feather there. That's about it. That's all we're going to see. Alright, before we do the tail, let's do the legs. Actually, before we do the legs, let's do her little plate in the front here. I guess it's sort of like a chest plate here that comes from underneath the hair and around, creating sort of like a little necklace. All right, if you think about it as a necklace, and then it comes down and then back up, sort of almost like a baby's bib. All right, that shape right there is going to have a moon on it, so you can start the moon by doing a circle and then putting a smaller circle on the inside off to the side so that it's touching the inside of that circle. That's going to create the moon. We'll ink that in later. Alright, now we can move on and do the legs and the rest of the body. Let's do the back legs first. This line's going to come down, creating the back. We're going to have to later on draw a they have like a little mark on their hindquarters that we're going to draw in. Alright, so that is we just follow that line that we drew. Remember, their back legs bend backwards, not like a knee on a human. It bends the opposite direction. We just thicken that line. Go to your reference photo if you need to look at it some more. But basically here's creating the back leg, going back, and then 2 lines coming down, creating this leg. And then we're going to draw the body. Actually, before we do the body, let's do this leg, which is just simply from here. We're going to thicken that line. That's how it's going to come down. And remember, as it goes down, it tapers the opposite way. It gets thicker as it goes down. So that's one hoof. Let's make this just a little bit pointier right here. She is supposed to be a princess. Just make it look a little bit more elegant. Alright, so these are the 2 legs that are facing us, and then those back legs, we're not going to see where they connect to the body, so it's going to be much easier to draw. But before we do that, let's draw this line that creates the body line that is underneath these 2 legs. And then let's draw this leg in. This is the bottom of her torso, her chest area. And then the other leg. Okay, she's got these real fancy hooves, and it sort of just makes like a little V right there, and then an extra curly Q right there. And the same on the other hoof. Okay. Let's get her tail in. Now if we look at that reference photo, she's got a big, beautiful tail. Real wavy hair. So we're going to draw it in a couple of lines. So starting from right back here, we're going to draw a line going out and then down. And the same here. But remember, she's got big wavy hair, so this part will come down this way, but then it's going to create sort of like another tendril going around this way. This might take a couple of tries to get right, but follow your reference photo or follow along with me and we should get it. Think of it like a soft serve ice cream cone, how it swirls on top of itself. And we can really fix these curls as we ink too. So it's okay to be sketchy now. Remember, keep those pencil points, those pencil lines light, and we can fix things as we ink. And this last one curls up, almost touching itself. Alright, I think that's all of our pencil lines. Oh, no it's not. We got to do our little indicator on the back. And it looks like it's, if we look at the reference photo, it looks like it's in a bit of a cloud. Again, she's got another moon symbol. So draw like a little cloud shape with a couple of little spots coming off as well, almost like a little popcorn popping. We can be a little bit more perfect with this when it comes to inking. And then she's got another moon, so let's draw a circle and then a smaller circle touching the side of that circle that will create that moon shape. Alright, we are ready to start inking. So let's get our inking markers ready. And we're going to ink the thing that comes out at us first. And usually, in most cases, it's either the nose or the eyes. And this one's going to be the eye. So this eye, let's ink that in. Starting with the eyelashes. And sometimes it's good to keep a little bit of a flick to your wrist. That'll help you get that tapered edge. But again, that comes with experience, so take your time with it. Let's put in that eyelash, or eyelid. Remember, on the iris, she has two little gleams. So you're going to draw two little ovals inside that big black iris, and then color everything around it, and that'll create that little gleam. Alright? She has a couple of more lashes right here, here, and here. Alright, let's do this ear. And then we can do the hair going around the ear. This is a good point to remember. Think before you ink. This line right here of the head, the original foundational shape, we're not going to be inking the whole thing, so make sure you know where you're inking and what you're not inking. So that's her hair going around. And from here we can do the horn and the crown. Let's go ahead and do her unicorn horn. And there's her crown. And then let's do the rest of the face shape, which is her muzzle, nostril, smile, neck to the breastplate here. That's all I'm going to do because now I want to come back in and do this part of her mane. And then this line comes down, creates this tendril, going back up. Alright, and then we can do this line here in between the crown and the ear. Remember, we're just pretending we drew that line, that it continues behind the crown and the horn here. And some last little tendrils down at the bottom. Okay, let's do her wings. Inside the wings, and then this wing that we only see this part of. Let's do these two legs. We see where these two legs, the front back leg and the front leg, we see where they connect to the body. But we don't see where they connect on the back two legs. So all we have to draw is this. See a little bit of a separation right there. And then this leg. Alright. Let's put in her moon. Remember, we created this moon shape out of two circles. We can put in those cloud shapes here. And then the moon shape on the back. Here's those little fancy hooves she has. And then her tail. And then we're ready to erase. Try to keep your lines as smooth as possible. Again, and I said this before in other episodes, that just comes with confidence in your line, knowing where you're going. That comes with experience. Alright? Alright, take the time now to erase your pencil lines. And as is usually the case, I found something I forgot to ink, and that is those swirly lines on the unicorn horn. There we go. Alright. Now we're ready to color, and if we take a look at the reference photo, she's basically a bunch of different shades of blue. She's got dark blue skin, her chest plate and her rear quarter mark, those are like a navy blue, like a dark blue. It looks almost black, but it's actually blue. Same thing with her crown. And then her hooves and her tail and her mane are an even lighter blue. So we're going to need 3 shades of blue. Okay, here's dark blue for her crown and her chest plate and her rear mark. It's almost like a navy blue, like a real dark blue, almost like a night sky, which is probably why she's called Princess Luna. She's got something to do with the moon. Don't forget her crown. Okay, we've got this medium blue for her skin and also her unicorn horn. Okay, we have a lighter blue for her hair. And also her eyelid when we come to it. Right, this is also going for her eyelid. And also her hooves. And the last little bit of color is her eyes, which are sort of like this turquoisey green. That's a different color than everything else on her. And there we have it, Olivia. Princess Luna.